Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, my name is Monica and I am going to talk about some recent reads. So on August 1st, 4 books came out and I just want to give you a quick glimpse of, just a quick rundown on my feelings of them. And the first one I read was Glimmers of You by Catherine Cowles. And this one is Caden Shaw and Gray, he called her Gigi. This is their story. This had type 1 diabetes representation. This is a small town romantic suspense, and it was good. I gave it 4.5 stars. This is not my favorite in the series. This one, she had someone stalking her. The guy was a bit of an arsonist. This was definitely second chance. It was friends to lovers, then he left when they were kids. It was kids friends to lovers, then he left. And then he came back. Unfortunately, it did not live up to Echoes of You. Echoes of You is still my favorite. I really liked Caden and Gray. The thing is with Gray, she made some pretty dumb decisions after what happened in Echoes of You and even what happened in Whispers of You. She made some pretty dumb decisions. I was like, well, you know what happened in the last couple of books and you still made those decisions? That was not the best decision. And I mean, I got it for her characterization. But I was like, why would you do that? You know it's just going to come back and bite you in the butt. Anyway, yeah, so I gave it 4.5 stars, and I really did enjoy it. It had the Catherine Cowles feels, it had the small town and everything. It had the romantic suspense, and I felt like coming home. When you read this, you know what you're going to get in a Catherine Cowles book, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, 4.5 stars. So the next one I read was In a Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. This is right person, wrong time. A compulsively right person, wrong time. He kept pushing her away. Then she, this is military. They survived a plane crash together when they were both, I think he was 19, she was 18. And then over the next, decade, they would meet up every few years, and they were in love with each other. They knew that they were in love with each other, but yet they kept pushing each other away until it came to a head 3 years prior to the present day narrative. And in the present day narrative, she is now a senator's aide, and when he was stationed in Afghanistan when the United States was pulling out of Afghanistan back in 2021, and she was the senator's aide, and she was going there to, not telling the senator that she was there to get her sister out, who was a photojournalist as well. And so they had to confront their feelings and all the stuff that they went through in a war zone. Well, all this stuff was going on. This political upheaval was going on. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I know some people didn't enjoy it because, I mean, after Fourth Wing, because Fourth Wing was very different from this. So you went from Fourth Wing, which is this very high, which is this fantasy. I wouldn't even call it high fantasy. I don't even know what high fantasy is. I'm not a fantasy girly, and that's fine. But anyway, and so they had to confront their feelings, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. It was a favorite of mine because they really pulled out the emotions with each other, and they really had to confront each other. Did they have to do it in Afghanistan? No, they could have communicated with each other and be more trusting with each other. But in all fairness, when they were talking to each other and when they were meeting with each other, it didn't equate within years. It was the amount of time they did actually spend together was days, not years. So, but they did know each other for a long time. Okay. The next book I did read, and it was just an audible release only, which was Glove Save. from Tegan Hunter. This was a Carolina Commons series. This one was the goalie, Grumpy Sunshine. I don't even want to call her Sunshine. Her daughter Macy wants to be a goalie, so he needs a date to his mom's fourth wedding. So he makes a deal with her. It's like, you be a date to my mom's wedding with me, and I will coach your daughter into to be a goalie. And she's like, okay. So she does that, and her daughter's a natural at being a goalie, which is great. Anyway, and they end up falling in love. He doesn't like kids at first. She didn't like him at first. His daughter called him a jackass. Anyway, because he was a jackass to most people at first, because he's really grumpy. But anyway, it was actually really good book for the most part. Tegan Hunter writes solidly good hockey romances. I really enjoyed this series. It's a good series. Let me put it this way. They're readable. They're wonderful. They're readable. They're fun. They're great. I highly recommend the Carolina Commons series. Every one I've read, I've really enjoyed. They are just such a good time. And thank you to Caitlin from the Love Librarian for putting them on my radar, because I probably would have never picked them up if she hadn't started talking about them, because I'm glad I did, because they have been a really good time. So absolutely, this one was a 4. I think it was like a 4 or 4.5. Solid read, loved it, and I'm glad I'm enjoying this. This series as a whole is just a really solid series. It's just such a great series. The last book I read is The Way I Hate Him by Megan Quinn. Okay, she writes big books. I know this. So sometimes she really works for me, and sometimes she really doesn't. Either she really works for me or she really doesn't work for me. There's no in between with Megan Quinn. And unfortunately, this one, it was too long. It was too long for the story. So the story is the heroine, basically, this is supposed to be hate to love. So the heroine has to work for the hero, who is a rock star. The hero had a falling out with her older brother. This is an age gap. It's like a 12-year age gap, I think. They end up, her boyfriend stole his Grammy from him. She goes to give it back to him, basically to tell him that his assistant has been stealing from him, so he can get her boyfriend in trouble and get her boyfriend sent to jail, because her boyfriend broke up with her because her boyfriend told her that she's boring. Which, I mean, okay. She should have just reported her boyfriend when he stole the Grammy. But okay. Whatever. Anyway, her sister just died of cancer. This girl's supposed to be, I think, like 24, I think. She's supposed to be on her last, her final year of grad school for business school. She doesn't want to go back to business school because she doesn't like school, right? Which is fine. You don't have to like school. But she's not telling people this, right? Which is fine. Okay. So the rock star, he knows that she's innocent in all this. He basically blackmails her into working for him. Megan Quinn, she writes really, really good banter. She can write banter in her sleeve. She's really good at banter. She's really good at writing smut scenes. She's good. So here's the thing. The heroine's family was horrible to her. They were ignoring her. They were just being really horrible to her. The hero's family was blackmailing him for something he did, which was pretty bad anyway. But then the hero was running hot and cold on her. She had a crush on him. He knew it. He had her, and this is a spoiler, so if you don't want to know it, I'm going to put a spoiler up here. On one point, and this made me feel really icky, was he knew, because they had actually like hooked up a little bit, where he basically almost made her come, but then backed out at the last second-ish. Anyway, like he was touching her. He had to do this commercial where he had to get very intimate with his actor, with this co-star. And he was getting pretty turned, But she didn't have to go. But he's like, you're still gonna come. You have to come. Even though he didn't need her to come, and he shouldn't have had her come, because he knew ahead of time what this commercial was going to be about. And he made her sit there and watch him basically perform these acts, even though it was acting on this other girl, which made me feel really icky. I was like, no, you didn't. That was not necessary. That turned me right off to the hero. I don't care. He did not need to do that. That was not okay. Now, to me, that was not okay. And then she forgave him. Okay? And then they got together. And when they were together, the book was good. And then the third act breakup, which was kind of dumb, did not need to happen, happened. Happened really fast. And then they have their happily ever after. It was not hate to love. She didn't hate him. She liked him. She secretly liked his music. He did not hate her. It wasn't rivals to love. It wasn't hate to love. That would have been a lot better. I gave 3 stars. I gave 3 stars because of the banter. I loved the romance when they were together for the few parts, because they honestly didn't really get together until like chapter 18, chapter 19, and there's like 25 chapters in this book. So take that as you will. For the most part. 3 out of the 4 books really worked for me. So I really do call that a win. Anyway, so those are some of the recent reads that I read. Let me know if you read them down below. And if you made it this far in this book, and if you made it this far in this video, please leave me a apple emoji. And until next time, my friends, happy reading. Bye.